Google just updated the quality raters guidelines and they added E to the EAT. So it's now EEAT. And not many SEOs are talking about this, but this is a significant change to Google's policy. But what many SEOs are not talking about is that this is going to affect your website. And this is not going to just affect websites in the health niche. This is not going to just affect websites that are doing affiliate marketing. This is going to affect every website out there if it's not affecting it already. In this video, I'm going to talk about not about the E and EAT. You can read about this in other videos. I'll just briefly touch about EAT so that you guys know what I'm talking about. But other than that, I'm just going to go into how you can make sure that your website is not hit by this update to Google's policies, because once there's an update to Google's policies, this same update is then made to Google's algorithm. And this is something that human reviewers are looking at. So if your website has been flagged by the algorithm, a human reviewer is using this to look at your website, examine it, and then either give it a pass or penalize it. So you want to pass the algorithm, and in this video, that's what I'm going to talk about. Is I'm going to talk about how you can pass the algorithm, and at the same time, rank well. So even if you're not penalized by EAT, or you think your EAT is fine, adding this new E to your SEO work will mean that you rank better and you rank ahead of your competition. So before I go into this, I just want to ask you to like and subscribe. If you're new to the channel, subscribe to it. If you have been watching me for a while, leave a comment below. Also leave a comment if you have a question about what I'm talking about. The other thing is, if you're looking for SEO, there's a link in the description. Click the link, fill the form, and get in touch with me. So without further ado, let's get right into it. So an EAT is now for experience. Now, many people will say this is new, and a lot of SEOs have been talking about this as being new, but this has been around for a while. The E has not been for a while. It was previously called author authority. So author authority has been around for a while, but many people have been not talking about it. It was kind of suspect that author authority was one of a ranking factor, but it was never proven. My testing had showed that author authority was a ranking factor. I was about to talk about it. I didn't talk about it because I knew that there were algorithm updates coming. I just wanted to see if this change would be made at upcoming algorithm updates, and a change was made, and this E was added to EAT. So this is not new in my opinion. This has been around for a while, and right off the bat, you can see that it talks about inclusive language. So you need to make sure that your written content is more inclusive. It just goes into all the details. I'll just put this up on the screen. You guys can read this. And I'm not going to bore you guys with all the details over here, because I've gone through it. There are other videos on YouTube that talk about all of this, and there are articles you can read online about EAT, and you can even read the quality raters guidelines yourself. It's a downloadable file, but I'll not go. Which is why it's a waste of time for me to go into it. What I'll go into what you should do to make sure that Google sees you as an experienced author and that you don't have a problem. And you're not flagged by the algorithm. So the first thing you need to do is, if you're publishing articles, make sure that there's an author bio link at the bottom of each article. If you're the author of the article, add your name to the bottom of the article. Make sure that there's a link to your LinkedIn profile. So for the same name, so if your name is John McCain, make sure that you have a LinkedIn profile, the same name, John McCain. Make sure that if your website is about, let's say, shoes, then your expertise should be listed on your LinkedIn as an expert reviewing shoes, or expert talking about shoes, or expert with selling shoes. Regardless, it should be a well-made profile. It should have your profile picture. It should be a similar picture to what you're using in your author bio on the web. The next thing you want to do is you want to make sure that your LinkedIn profile is well laid out, so it should look genuine. So even if you're making a fake LinkedIn profile, make it look as good as it can. So that's one of the keys to doing it. This is especially important for affiliate marketers, because they're the ones that are going to be penalized by this E for EAT. moving forward, if they're not already penalized, because a lot of affiliate marketers are selling different products and they're making themselves look like experts when they're not experts, and they're just rewriting content from other people's websites, and they've not even used the product, but they're selling and recommending the product for a commission, which Google sees as being unethical. So, and which is why we have these guidelines in place from Google. So if you're even if you're going to do this for the money, make sure you're doing it right. So once your LinkedIn profile is set up and linked to your author bio, the next thing you want to do is set up your Facebook profile. So again, same exercise here. Make sure that you have a real profile picture, have a real profile information, have real friends. So go out, network with people, add people to your friend list, and add people and just communicate. Now, apart from social media profiles, you want to go to Quora, and you want to create a Quora account using the same name, and also answer questions in a niche. So again, if your niche is shoes, make sure that you answer questions related to shoes. Make sure your specialization is shoes in the Quora article, and what that will do is it will make you look like an authority. So, and I'll tell you how this will work. So once you have the Quora profile set up, go to Reddit, set up a Reddit profile, similar, answer questions that are related to shoes in Reddit. And once you do that, and all of this is linked to your main website where you're reviewing shoes, the next step would be is to just post your article. So if you have a new blog post, you have a new product review, link to the product review from your Quora page and from your Reddit page. Now, that's even important if nobody is going to read it. Ideally, you'd also want to do this from your LinkedIn page. So, and also forgot, you need to have real LinkedIn connections. So make real LinkedIn connections. How many connections? I can't tell you. It can be 4 or 5 connections. But make those LinkedIn connections. Once that's done, and once that's linked to your main page, you can go ahead and start posting articles, and then posting links to your articles in your LinkedIn page. But there's one final thing that you need to do in order for this to work, and that is to make sure that you have a page on your website that's dedicated to the authors that are writing your articles. So if you have 2 different authors or 3 different authors on your website, or even one author, just make sure that you have a dedicated page, like an About Us page or About the Author page, where people can click and read about the author. Now, this About the Author needs to be around 350 words at least. Talk about your experience in relation to the website and in relation to the content that you have on your website, and also have a real picture, and talk about your hobbies, talk about your career and stuff like that. So 350 words at the very least. Now, how do I know this works? Because I've been testing this for the past year. Ever since the May core update rolled out, this was something that I was doing and I was testing out, and I saw that this is the only way to pass the author authority on. So what the human reviewer will do is, so once a bot flags your website as being not authoritative, and what it's looking at is looking at the social profiles. So if the bot sees that you don't have the social profiles, there's a high probability that you will be flagged, or in your website will be flagged, and a human reviewer then will then be checking out these things. So the human reviewer, the first thing the human reviewer does is it will go to your About Us page and look at your LinkedIn connections, and also take a look at your Quora, and also do a brief Google search using your name. So if you don't appear anywhere, the reviewer knows that this is a fake profile, and to avoid it, and so you'll be marked down. The same goes for all the other websites where you contribute. If you're using a fake name, I would strongly advise that you make sure that your fake name has well-made fake profiles. And this is nothing new. This has been around for a while. My next video is about how to find duplicate content on a website using Screaming Frog. So guys, if you like the video, like and subscribe, and always I'll see you guys in the next video.